Something slightly different in today's video. So basically tomorrow what I have is a concert coming up. It's a concert I'm putting on where I'm going to be playing mostly my own songs, my original material, and there's a whole visual thing going on. But basically I thought today I'd give you a little glimpse into what I do to prepare for concerts like these, and also how to prepare my guitars and what I do when I pack them in like their gig bags and what kind of things I need to take. So that's what today's video is all about. I can probably summarize that in better wording. How to prepare your guitars for a concert, guy. Anyway, so something like that. No nice microphone today, just a phone mic. I'm going to take you over to a little corner that I have in my living room where I rehearse, and I'll show you the stuff that I have, and we'll go through how to prepare the guitars and what we put in the gig bags. Sound good? Right, so let's go over there and let's have a look. So here is my little artistic corner, if you want to call it that. I've got my vinyl player there where I listen to music. I can sit on the floor, lay down, come up with ideas. In fact, some of my recent ideas have come from just laying and listening to music, so like my current work. Anyway, so I've made a little kind of nest here where I've got my two guitars I'm going to be using. I've got some stuff I'm going to use to prepare the guitars. I've got a nice laptop and headphones that I've been using to listen to the music I'm going to play along to. So basically all my amps are already set up at the place, so all I'm doing is listening with headphones and playing the guitars acoustically, just to learn the sequences. I've got my toolbox just in case I need to do any repairs, and most importantly tea and coffee, nice herbal tea and a coffee. I've got plants and things like that, just to make it comfortable. For the actual gig tomorrow, I'll be using a solid case for my really special old guitar that I'm taking out of retirement for this gig, and I've got my gig bag to put my main guitar in that I can take and get out and use quickly. Once my backup guitar is packed in there, that will be done. So that's what I'm going to show you today. Because I'm still practicing, I'm not going to prepare my main guitar. So this is my main guitar for the gig. This is my 2017 made in Mexico 50s Classic Series Strat, and it's got upgrades on it galore. Seymour Duncan pickups, Callahan bridge, pure tone jack, tusk nuts, locking tuners, stuff like that. So that's my main guitar I'm going to be using. My backup guitar, I thought I'd do something special and get my crafted in Japan 68 reissue guitar out in Olympic white. I don't play this much anymore, but this was my first proper serious Stratocaster, and I played this for 15 years, and I learned everything on this guitar. It's been modified, similar thing. This is the first guitar I used the Callahan bridge on. It's got the original saddles though. It's now got a pure tone jack. It's got DiMarzio area pickups in it. They're lovely. It hasn't got locking tuners. It's just got the original tuners, the split head ones. Keep it authentic. It has got a tusk string tree. The nut is the original left-handed nut that was fitted, and it is awful. But being a vintage spec Fender, the 68, it's actually got the narrower nut. So the regular tusk nuts I use, the 42mm, don't fit. But that's technical stuff. That's boring. So basically we've got main Strat that I use, that I play, which is comfortable and it's great. And I've got my old classic, old faithful Strat that I thought I'd bring out of retirement because it usually lives in its case. I'm going to clean it up today, and we're going to use it as my backup guitar. So if I break a string or anything goes wrong, I'll jump on this one. Mainly because it's white, to be honest. The thing I'm doing, the gig, has multimedia and visuals, and it looks better if you have white. I'm going to be wearing all white, so it shows up well, but Anyway, backup guitar. So what we'll do is, I'm going to show you what I do to prep my guitars, because I'm still practicing with my main guitar. I'm not going to prep it today. I'm going to prep it just before the gig. But this backup guitar I can prep now, put in a case, and it's ready to go. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So in no particular order, this is what we're going to use to prepare the guitars. I've got a brush here that I use just for getting in the nuts and crannies on the guitar to get the dust out. We've got a screwdriver, a nice small one, just to tighten things up and possibly do intonation if required. When we tune up the guitar, we can check intonation and we can adjust the saddles with this. We've got a microfiber cloth just to run over the guitar to get the dust off. Once that's done, we've got some polish, Dunlop 65, and a chamois, whatever you call these, the polishing rag. This is lemon. This came in the pack. We're not going to use this. That's lemon oil. That's for rosewood fretboards. A toothbrush. These are handy to have just in case you need to get in some real nuts and crannies, like in the saddles. And then we've got fast fret. The strings on this white Strat are pretty new. In fact, they were new when I last worked on the guitar, so these haven't been played. But I'll still show you the prep I do. You keep the guitar clean and the strings clean, and then when it comes to playing, it should feel smooth and it should glide on your fingers. That's the principle. And then also when everything's nice and looked after, when you use the whammy bar, it should stay in tune. We'll make sure the controls work like they should, and just make sure things like your output jack are all tightened up. That's what I've got the toolbox for. And like I said, the screwdriver, we can do intonation work if we have to. This has already been done. But that's basically what I use before I start a gig. I like to start with a nice clean guitar, and then by the end of the night it's not so clean. Plus I'm just weird, I like to clean things. So anyway, let's start on the white Strat. So the first job was to tune the guitar. So now I'm playing in E flat. So this is nice and tuned. We've got good intonation there, so I know that's good. I don't have to adjust the saddles or anything. The nut, you'll see, it buzzes on the low E string. That's because of the nut. I know that. This is why this is the backup, and I don't play it much. Anyway, so let's get it nice and cleaned up. We're going to start by getting the dust off. So if there's any dust in the nuts and crannies between the pickups, we can get that off with a brush. This just gets all the loose dust and things off. And watch out for the brush as well. Sometimes the bristles come off, the hairs come off the brush. I've got one stuck here now. Right, you just make sure they're off. All the nuts and crannies. If you had any issues with your switches or your pots, you'd take the scratch plate off and you'd spray them with contact cleaner. I've already done that recently, part of a service. This guitar was serviced. I cleaned it up and I stuck new strings on and I set it up, so that's all good. Right, overall clean good. We used the chamois cloth thing, whatever, not chamois, this one's the microfiber. Get all the dust off, check the back. A good thing to check is the strings are in nicely and the earth is in nicely. There's nothing loose. I've got strap locks as well. In fact, I can take the strap off, to be honest. Make sure they work as they should, and they do. Everything's nice and tight. If something is loose, all you have to do, obviously, is get a screwdriver and tighten up your strap buttons and things. There's nothing worse than playing a gig and your strap comes off. I mean, there's a famous clip of Eric Clapton when he's playing with Robbie Robertson, and he's doing his solo and his guitar falls off because his strap wasn't on properly. I like to use these strap locks because live I don't want that to happen. I had that happen on a Les Paul once, and I dropped the Les Paul. Luckily, it didn't break the headstock. In fact, that's one of my first guitars. I've still got it. That's for another video though. I love that guitar. Anyway, and this one, I mean, look at it. This just looks great. It's the proper Olympic white. Yeah, Hendrix guitar. Go to the headstock. I use a pillow to hold the neck on. I know people have special holders, but I've had zero issues using a pillow. A nice pillow like this. Plus it just looks cool. Getting all the surface dust and things off. That's cleaning. Nice and quick, that job. Now what we'll do is we'll condition the strings. So for the strings, we're going to put the fast fret on. Normally when you play a guitar for a long time, if you just lift the strings up like this, you might be able to feel bits of dirt and grime on your finger. I don't know if you can see any. There's a little bit, because I played this a little bit this morning just to practice. There we go. You see the black line on my finger. So that's dirt, and because these are metal strings, if you get dirt on them, it can decrease the life of the strings. So what we like to do is I use this fast fret. You apply it up and down the fretboard on each string like this. Just go up and down. You don't need a lot. I've had this for years, to be honest. They last a while, and it comes with this nice rag. And all you do is go under each string with the rag, and you just go up and down. And if this was really dirty, you'd hear it do the high-pitched, like nails on a chalkboard kind of sound, rubbing sound. So this is nice and clean, so there's none of that sound. And the whole point is to make your strings last. And this is my backup guitar, so if anything were to happen to the main guitar and I have to play this, I have to be confident that straight away I'm not going to break a string on this guitar either. So this is nice and fresh. My main guitar, I should really change the strings before a gig, but the strings aren't that old, but I have played them a lot, so I don't know. That's why I'm taking a backup guitar. The whole concert is about an hour long, the whole event, so we're on the realms of, if I had to change strings, it might eat into the time. So it's good to have a backup guitar. If it was like a 15-20 minute gig or a couple of songs, then no, I wouldn't take a backup guitar. But because this is like an hour event, I'll take a backup. Right, I've waffled enough about cleaning strings, but that's basically it. Good old fast fret. So that's the loose dust has been taken off. The guitar's in tune. We've gone over and tightened everything up that we need to, the screwdriver, if we needed to. Now the final step is to get this body polished. So we don't have to touch the neck. The neck is fine. You just clean it with a cloth. But the body, we can use this. Dunlop. I use Dunlop 65 polish. There are other brands that do other types of polishes and cleaners. It doesn't matter. Pick the one you're comfortable with. I started using Dunlop and I like it, so that's all. Right, so all we do is spray it on the body a couple of times. Get the rag. I mean, it's easy to see on this white guitar if there's any dirt or mud because it's white. This was serviced and cleaned not long ago, so I'm confident that this is fine. Oh, there's a little bit there. It's when you drag it out of little corners. So nice and easy to see. Give the scratch plate a little rub. Because I'm left-handed, this area of the guitar is actually where my arm sits. So this is the dirtiest area, really. So I pay extra attention to there. If you're a right-handed player, and obviously your arm's up here, because you're playing it this way, then maybe up here is a dirty area, because your arms get sweaty and dirty and etc. There's a little blemish on there. See, that's where my arm is actually, to see it, my arm is starting to wear out the finish, the chrome finish on the output jack. Same with the control knobs. They're getting worn away. Anyway, that doesn't matter. So once we've done the front and we're happy that it's nice and clean, don't know why I touched the strings there, we can turn it over and do the back. You could do the back of the neck if you wanted to, because that's got a, this particular neck has a clear coat on it, so it's lacquered. But if you had it unfinished, you probably wouldn't use this kind of polish. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is to stick with the body with the polish. Right. Give it a couple of squirts. That's what she said. Give it a nice clean. So there were some dirt marks on the back there. They usually are, because that's where it touches your body and your trousers and stuff, so that's where there's going to be a bit of dirt. Check inside the cavity. That is one clean guitar that is ready to go. He drops it, lovely. There we go, won't get any more finger dirt on there. But just checking everything's fine. Once we're done, this can then go in its case with all of its bits that it needs. So I'll meet you over at the case. So here's the hard case that it's going to go in. So the backup guitar's going in there. These are all the bits that need to go in. We've got the tremolo arm, the strap, and the guitar itself, obviously. My other guitar will be going in this gig bag. And in the gig bags, you can put all the useful things that you need for playing the guitar on the night. So some things I take with me is obviously a spare cable. All my other cables are already at the venue, already all set up with the pedals and the amps, but it's good to take on your back with your main guitar a spare cable. We've got spare strings. There is a multi-tool somewhere, but if you get something like a screwdriver, so you get your handy screwdriver again, put that in there. I have a little multi-tool in another bag somewhere, and it's got all your Allen keys and screwdrivers on and all sorts. It's from Dunlop, so I'll leave that out for now. At the top of your gig bag, I like this gig bag, they're quite good. Spare strap, just in case one breaks, although each guitar has a strap anyway. I've got a nice lovely white strap with koi fish, Japanese themed. I don't know if you can see this. It's white and it's Japanese themed with a koi carp, and it goes very well with my crafted in Japan Stratocaster, so I thought that was a nice little touch. Spare picks go in there. Yeah, so let's put that one away, and then that's kind of preparation done, to be honest. Open this up. They're not real Fender tweed cases, they're Amazon specials, but they do the job. This will be going in a car, so it's not like I'll be hugging, I won't be taking them on a flight or anything. I'll be careful and looking after them. If I was to travel further with a guitar, they go in a flight case or something, but this just, I got two of these for my two main guitars. I thought they just look nice. That goes in there. Matches. Tape, so I know this one's the white guitar. I'm not going to write on it Nathan Champion 68 reissue Stratocaster, because that just screams steal me. So just a piece of tape will do, so I know that's that one. and then the gig bag will be for my main strap, which is there. That's basically it. So yeah, I recommend before you play a gig, you go over your guitar like that. You do some maintenance. You make sure everything's nice and, you know, tightened up with the screwdrivers. The strings are smooth, nice and clean. That's really important. And then before the gig, you should just practice. I'm able to just put a laptop on with the songs, headphones on, pick up my guitar. If I had my interface here, I'd probably plug in and use a digital sound just for practice. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to do the same with this guitar that I did with the backup guitar. Before I go to the gig, I'll clean it. It needs cleaning. It's got finger marks all over it where I've been practicing. You can see. So that will be polished out. The strings will be clipped there. That all will be cleaned between the pickups. It's surprising how much dust you get between there. And then that'll be put in the gig bag. So anyway, thanks for watching. Basically, that's it. If you liked this video, please comment, like and subscribe. And I'm probably going to put at the end of this video, in fact I will, I'll put at the end of this video some rehearsal footage from the gig I'm going to be playing, just so you have an idea of, you know, the type of show it is. Like I said, I'm going to be wearing white, and there's going to be projections, and I'm going to be playing some like David Gilmour style solos, you know, on my special guitar. I've got a Seymour Duncan SSL5 there, just like David Gilmour, so it should sound nice. Anyway, that's it from me. Well, ciao for now.